Now, let's watch a short clip on the review and approval process for RPTs to understand how thresholds should be set for different levels of approval by the Board of Directors and shareholders. Here are the main ideas of the module. Review and approval of RPTs remains a key shareholder protection issue. Globally, regulatory approaches vary greatly. Nevertheless, decision-making with regards to RPT approvals should be clearly articulated. In most jurisdictions, the board is responsible for taking decisions on material RPTs. RPTs can be distinguished by immaterial transactions with negligible impacts on the bank, and material ones of greater significance and impact. Firstly, for immaterial transactions, the approval and reporting processes can be simplified and shortened. Transactions below the de minimis level should require approval or disapproval in the normal course of bank management, adhering to its policies, and be reported to the board in aggregate, monthly terms for ex post approval, and annually reported to shareholders in the financial statements. Secondly, for material RPTs, transactions requiring board approval should be of a value above a fixed de minimis amount and below a set percentage of capital. For material RPTs valued above the set percentage of capital, shareholder approval or disapproval is required. Now, let's look at a recommended model for Vietnam. Banks are recommended to establish transaction bans in RPT policies. Firstly, RPTs below the de minimis level require ex-ante management approval, but not an ex-ante board review and approval. However, ex-post board reporting and approval is still required. Secondly, from the de minimis level, up to a certain percentage of equity capital, which we recommend to be 3%, the RPT must go through an ex-ante board approval or disapproval process, following an independent board committee review. Thirdly, it is recommended that if the level of RPT reaches or exceeds 3% of owners' equity, then an ex-ante shareholder approval or disapproval is required. For this level, reporting individual material RPTs above the threshold to shareholders is mandatory. In conclusion, in best practice and for transparency, thresholds set by a bank in its RPT policy should be reported to the State Bank of Vietnam and made public on the company website.